morning. This ought to be a fun topic. Didn't put a whole lot of thought into it. Hope I didn't paint myself into a corner. But I think it's a pretty easy approach. And it applies to really any relationship that you care about. And, oftentimes we go through stuff, whether it's at work or home or our, love relationships where, unfortunately we have separation. People leave jobs and, there's a thousand different opinions about why people leave jobs. The cool thing, the cliche thing to say, which is true, but I don't know that people really understand the true meaning of it is people leave leaders, they don't leave jobs. And the real meaning of that is even under less than ideal circumstances, where people were doing physical labor that they might not enjoy, or don't 100% believe in what they're actually doing, but they believe in what they do and how it serves a bigger purpose. They'll stay at a job because of the bigger purpose. They'll stay at the job because of the vision. So when you hear people say that people don't leave jobs, they leave leaders, it's a valid point. And our job as leaders of our business, managers of our business, and, an equal partner in any relationship, whether it's our spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, is to treat those people as if they're thinking about leaving. And what does that really mean? Let's talk about it. Like, we see a lot of times, like at the workplace, you have an employee that's maybe not happy with how they're being treated, or they're not satisfied with the opportunity for improvement, or they're not, completely plugged in to what the company is doing. Good morning, Mr. Berman. And then they come in and they sit with their manager and they say, hey, I feel bad about this, but I'm thinking about leaving. And then when you have a quality employee and you have someone that fits your culture, they exhibit your core values, they meet or exceed their expectations for their job, the typical response by management is to try and to keep them. Hey, we really appreciate you. We'd hate to lose you. What if we could, work something out where, we were more flexible with your hours, or maybe we could work out an increase in pay, or whatever it is that they believe in that moment is contributing to the person leaving, they try and fix. And there's two problems with that. One, if it's a repairable issue that's relatively easy addressed after a 15-minute meeting, it really should have been addressed, much earlier than then. So, but not everybody knows everything all the time. So as a leader and a manager, how can you be better at engaging with your people and making sure they feel appreciated and making sure that they understand how what they do impacts the overall mission and the vision of the company? It's to just have those conversations. It doesn't have to be any more difficult than having a conversation with the people that you work with, and the people that work for you, and the people that support you, and the people that you're in relationships with, to talk about it. Hey, I really appreciate what you did yesterday. I know you didn't have to stay late, or, I was tired when I got home, and, having dinner ready, and, just taking care of the house was such a big help for me. And it allowed me to really focus on my work day yesterday. I just want to let you know I appreciate it. So treat people the way you would treat them if they came to you today and told you that they were leaving. And if you treat every day, every person, every situation like that, you'll seldom have people leave. Is it 100% bulletproof? No. I mean, there's circumstances beyond our control, whether it's, our love relationships or our work relationships or friendships that are simply beyond our control. But 95% of things that happen are within our control. So, if you think, and it's always like just such a heart-wrenching, process to go through, whether it's a breakup. And again, I'm not talking about toxic relationships that don't work. I mean, if it's a toxic relationship at work or it's a toxic relationship at home, like those need to expire. Those relationships need to be terminated sooner than later. But it'll also be terminated at the right time by doing that. A lot of times we walk around or we avoid both good and bad relationships. We take good relationships for granted and we avoid confrontation with bad relationships. So what's a bad relationship look at like at work? It's not always one where you hear someone complaining or where your boss is telling you you're not doing a great job or where the employee or the team member is complaining. Oftentimes people feel the way that they're feeling and they're not broadcasting or sharing it. And they're definitely not sharing it with their boss until it's time to go. Like, hey, I'm not going to complain until I know that I got somewhere else to go, because I would hate to complain and then lose a job and not have one. So the lesson is to really just keep it simple and think about each of your work relationships, even each of your friendships, your relationships with your children, any relationship that you care about. Imagine that person came to you today and said, I'm done. And then imagine what you would do to keep that from happening and write it down. Whatever those 3 to 5, hopefully it's not like 15 things or you're just doing people dirty. But hopefully it's, 2 or 3 things that you could write down that you would have to imagine. And you have to be honest with yourself. I think everything's great. It's not. It may be good. It's not great. And if it's great, it can still be better. So imagine if that person were to come to you today and tell you that they just can't do it anymore. They're exhausted. It's no longer a good fit for them. They're moving on to better opportunities. Whatever that means, whether it's a work relationship, whether it's a love interest, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a work relationship with a customer. Maybe you own a company and you have a customer, or you have multiple customers. Maybe you have dozens or hundreds of customers. People in real estate sometimes have thousands of previous customers. Imagine what that person might say if you had to guess. If they came to you today and told you that they were parting ways, they wanted to end the relationship. And then write down what you think their reasons might be. And anything that's within your control that you can change, whether it's pay, whether it's accountability, whether it's leadership, whether it's the opportunity for growth, whether it's attention because your nose is buried in your phone, whether it's meaningful time together as a family, whatever it may be, write it down and then do something about it. So that's what I mean by if you treat people the way you would treat them if they were going to leave, they won't leave. And I think it's a simple approach that you can use in work and you can use it at home that will get much more out of the relationship. Sometimes relationships stay and they last forever, but they're still not what they could be. So treat the people that you care about in any relationship that you're in as if they came to you today and told you they were leaving, and then do whatever you would do to keep them every day. That's it. I'll see you later. Peace.